Good afternoon, good Friday, everybody. I.O.B.A. News and Information. I'm TC. You know, the other day I was checking out a YouTuber um, that I really like, and you know, as he going along, he going through his podcast and everything. You know, and they're always he's always, I don't know, pitching something to you. Now, the stuff that the brother's selling, a lot of it is useful. I'm not gonna say nothing about that because it's good. It's good information, and it's stuff that all black people need to know about ourselves. Other stuff is just merchandise, and that's all cool and everything. But and there's a lot of YouTubers that do this, right? There's a lot of guys and some women that they run their business off YouTube and they sell their products and stuff like that, and that's all good. But sometimes I just wonder if they realize just how poor black people are and that the stuff that they sell should be a little bit more useful. For example, some people on YouTube, they tell black people to invest in the stock market and start up businesses and stuff like that. And sometimes that's good. That's good if you got the disposable income to invest in the stock market. Now people will say, okay, well, you spend XYZ on your hair, XYZ on stuff you don't need, and you could be redirecting that money somewhere, blah blah blah. And yeah, you could, but more often than not, you working one job that paying you barely enough to make it from paycheck to paycheck. That's the situation for the majority of black people in this country. We don't have 40. We don't have $40 or $50 to throw around. Check this out. I was checking out a speech came on TV on YouTube actually by Elizabeth Warren, and she was talking about how the federal government had a policy of uh, choosing white people over black people when it came to you know uh, mortgages and things like that. This was all during redlining and all that stuff that was going on. She was speaking about that. Now, she mentioned a statistic that I already know, but to hear her say it and to hear other people say it, it sounds much more scary and fucked up. She said that the average white family, the median black and white income, the median white income in Boston, Massachusetts, is somewhere around $200,000 a year. And the median income for black people in Boston is $8. The net worth of the average black family is $8. So let me get this, so I say this shit straight. The net worth of the average white family in Boston is somewhere around 200 grand. The net worth for the average black family in Boston is around $8 fucking. You hear Antonio Moore and Yvette Carnell talk about this stuff a lot, but that shit is very true. I used to work in an industry where I would sign people up for durable medical supplies, and I used to go in people's house to interview them. And I went in some of the poorest, most impoverished houses I ever seen in my life. And this was in the 90s. I mean, people didn't even have a bed to lay down on, or a chair to sit in. Sometimes they had, maybe one or two busted up chairs in the living room, and maybe a milk crate with a TV on top of it in there to watch. And they literally had nothing. And some of these people worked. Some of these people worked two goddamn jobs. And that was in the 90s. Now we up in here in 2019. Shit ain't got no better for black people. So what I'm saying is, instead of selling stuff that we can't use, sell people things that they can use, things that will help them at least pull up out of the situation that they're in financially. I mean, that shit should be given away. That shit should be common knowledge. On the giveaway side of y'all businesses, y'all should have something like that. And I know some of y'all gonna say, well, that's what the videos are for. Sometimes, yeah, but Sometimes something a little more tangible is necessary. Tell people to come to your website to buy a course on simple economics. Not investing in the fucking stock market, but from how to make it from one paycheck to the next paycheck on a really small salary. Like how to grow food, stuff like that. How to fucking teach people to understand that brand names don't mean you're getting a better product. So you don't have to go out and buy your child all kinds of brand name shit just because it's got a certain celebrity's tag on it in order to get, because that's a waste of fucking money. Teach people about that. Stuff like that is what was more of that. More of that is what they need to be talking about. Some of these YouTubers do cover that stuff, but a lot of them don't. A lot of them talk shit to you and bust your balls if you don't have, they call you broke and shit. And if you don't have money for this or money for that, and that's not. And the truth of the matter is, you don't have that shit. I worked from paycheck to paycheck for a long fucking time, and I had a lot of motherfuckers in the same boat as me. The average black family, average black person in this country don't make no $50,000 a year. Shit, half the fucking people in the country make less than $30,000 a year. And so you got to make it from that to that on that little bit of money. And that means covering your rent, covering your food, keeping your lights on. If you got kids, you got to keep them clothed and fed. And you might get a little assistance from the government. You might not. So that's what Tariq and I said his name, Tariq Nasheed. I love you, brother, but it's you. That's what these cats need to understand. Tariq and others. Dare I say it. I go it like this. Any motherfucking YouTuber with 40, 50, 100,000 subscribers and out there selling products, that could be Tariq Nasheed, that could be Umar Johnson, that could be Dr. Boyce Watkins, that could be Fly Nubian Queens, that could be any of them. If y'all selling some shit, y'all gotta be selling shit that A, people can use, and B, that'll uplift us as a people. Not just, goddamn it, that almost all the money made in the goddamn stock market is made by the top, 10% of the investors. That's the rich motherfuckers who can buy enough stock to where to make a difference. And then, when the stock market crashes, and it always crashes, the little people like y'all, you lose all your fucking money. Stock market is a fucking gamble. Invest in something simpler than that. What a bunch of black people in this country need to do is study how the Caribbeans and the Africans do it. Called community banking, a susu. More people should run one of those. You should search that shit on YouTube, a susu. I think it's spelled S-U-S-U, susu, just like it sounds. I thought it was some weird 3-letter spelling for a minute, but no. Anyway, that's what they need to be talking about instead of, buying albums, buying T-shirts, lotions and creams and shit. No. Somebody could come up with something better and more useful to be selling to black people than that shit. So I don't know if they're gonna hate me if they ever hear this video. But I don't give a fuck. I mean, I got my little microphone in my garage. They got a whole goddamn big ass platform. So I'm just keeping it real. I've been around a long time. I'm older than all of these people. I'm a baby boomer. So I seen it all happen time and time again when a bunch of new motherfuckers come along and maybe one person actually does something tangible for our community. Maybe two. We ain't had a bunch of real hardcore black motherfucking leaders like that since the Black Panthers, the original. Not after the FBI infiltrated them and all that shit. Since Malcolm X. Since Malcolm X. We had some guys that got close. Muhammad Ali was close, but he wasn't no Malcolm X. Anyway, now I'm rambling. But y'all get what I'm saying. Black people poor as hell. We don't have that disposable income like that. God damn it. And I'm going to close with this. The average brother, right, working at a regular job, he has in his wallet just enough money to get there and just enough money to get back home sometime. You lucky if you can get yourself a 6-pack of beer at the end of the week sometime. There's been times when I didn't give a fuck I was going to have that 6-pack. If all my money was already spent, fuck that, I'm taking that. Just to congratulate myself for making it through the week. And your whole paycheck is gone. You got your kids, you got food in the house. Your kids got their little fees and shit paid for. You paid your motherfucking bills for that week, and you got like $10 left. And that's how people live. And if you don't have a house or anything like that, then you really ain't got no wealth. All you got is the money in your pocket and the $10 in your bank account. And that's Tariq and them audience. And sometimes they act like they don't realize that. Anyway, that's it for now, y'all. I'm going to get with this workout tonight. Tonight, I got to do shoulders, and I got to do abdominals and core. So, we'll see how this new workout affects me. Like I said, I'm trying to get abs this year. People think I'm bullshitting, but we'll see what happens. TC, and I'm out.